Good morning, everyone. It's Natalie. Welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. I'm out here. It is Saturday morning. It's about 10:30. I try to sleep in on weekends, so I'm not out here at like 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever on the weekends because I try to get some rest, unless I have a special project and I want to get up early to do that. But I've done a lot throughout the week while my son Joshua was at school, so I have that free time. So I'm out here doing my first morning inspection. So you're going to be seeing everything along with me. I haven't been out here today. First thing when I first walk out is this beautiful raised bed right here, the L-shaped raised bed with my collards. These are my Georgia collards, y'all. Look at this. Look at the size of these leaves. Beautiful. And I see very little insect damage. I love that. I'm trying to stay on top of it. What I've been doing is I'll come out with like my Neem Max, and I'm using the spray bottle, right? The sprayer. So what I do, and I'll show you real quick. So as you can see, the Neem Max is in a spray bottle and it has a nozzle. So what I do is I take that nozzle and I put it down inside the collards because the leaves are nice and bushy and full. So I like to take that nozzle and stick it in there and spray the Neem Max down inside there where it can hit the soil, almost like a soil drench, but also the spray will actually hit the back of the leaves because that's where those little insects hide. They hide in the dampness inside the raised bed where all those leaves are all close together. So when I spray, I take the nozzle and put it down in there so it can get down where the soil is to soil level, but also the spray will spritz the back of the leaves also. Okay? So when the spray comes out, it will hit the back of the leaves. So when the mist comes out from the sprayer, so I basically take it and I put it down in that little, in the bushes. So it's gonna, in the bushy leaves is what I mean. So the Neem Max is gonna saturate the soil down there, and also the mist will come up and it'll hit the back of the leaves, and that's where the little insects like to hide back there on the back of the leaves, right? And also I like doing that because if the sun comes out, see, I try to do, when you spray for insects, you try to do it early morning or late afternoon because you don't want the heat of the day, the sun, to kind of shine down on those leaves, and it has that spray on it. It will actually damage the leaves. So that's why I like doing it this way, especially with these bushy collards, right? I'll stick the nozzle down in there and the spray will hit the back of the leaves, and also it'll saturate the soil underneath there because they're all, if you shake, you'll see like insects come flying up. They're in there having a ball. Is really damp and moist in there, and they love it. So that's why I like to spray it that way. But those are my Georgia collards, y'all. Let me step back so you can see it. Nice. Okay, right next to it is my Paris Island Cos lettuce. Okay, show you the tag. Okay, so that's what I have next to it. It's a good companion plant for collards. On the other side is my yellow straight neck squash, and I've pretty much harvested a bunch of them already. I have a whole basket inside. So, and I've been trying to cut off some of those lower leaves, keep the upper leaves and cut off the lower leaves. So right now there's no squash on there. There may be some growing because I've harvested a bunch. I have a whole basket inside. Okay. I'm trying to do a quick video, you guys, because it's just a quick update to show you what I'm doing. Right here, this is my butter crunch lettuce. I love growing butter crunch lettuce, and look how nice and healthy it is. This is the butter crunch. Okay. And I can harvest from this right now. Look at it. Those are nice full leaves. You don't have to harvest the entire head. You basically can just do it leaf by leaf. Next to it is carrots. These are, they're not Danvers. I'm not doing Danvers right now. I grew Danvers in the spring. These are Nantes, Nantes, Nantes. I've heard it pronounced Nantes and Nantes, but those are my carrots. Right next to it is my corn, and I want to say this is silver and gold corn. And I'm going to tell you the honest truth, I'm so ready to get rid of this corn because it is, first of all, it's an eyesore because of the ugly leaves, but also it's crawling with insects. And I hate having these plants that are just crawling with insects so near my other healthier plants that you see are not being affected by insects right now. So, I mean, there's ants. If you get up close, you'll see ants crawling up the stalks. It's a hot mess. But as you can see on some of the ears of corn, the little silks are drying out. So it's probably time to do a little harvesting. I'm not going to get a huge crop. I really struggled with corn this season, which is sad because I really love growing corn and I love corn. It's one of my favorite vegetables. So, but that's my corn there. Right over here is my okra. I have to pull out a little bit so you can see. That's my okra. Still growing strong. Harvest every day or every other day. You have to harvest when they're small. I can't stress that enough because if you let them get too big and hard, they're pretty much no good. Maybe it can be used as seed. That's an idea. But yeah, my okra's here, 2 different varieties. And there's a grasshopper, a huge grasshopper. I'll put up a picture of him. I have 2 pictures of him. I don't see him now, but the thing is, he blends in. He blends in with the leaves, so it's hard to find him anyway, but he's huge. Okay? Now I gotta watch him because at first I'm like, okay, maybe he's helpful. He's gonna eat the bugs that are, that will destroy my plants. But come to find out, grasshoppers eat leaves. I do believe, and he could damage my crops. So I'm actually looking at the leaves. I do see some, it's looking a little skimpy. Now I know I do cut some of the leaves off when I harvest. You can do that. I've told you that before. Like, see this one, if I was to harvest that okra that's right there, I would take the okra and the leaf that's underneath there. Okay, because nothing's going to grow in that spot again. But it may be him. He may be over here eating my leaves. He can destroy my plant. So I may have to get rid of him. I don't see him right now, and he's huge. You can't miss him. But he does camouflage himself. He will hide in there with the leaves. Okay? I'll put up a picture of him so you can see him. Okay? Don't see him right now. There he is. I'm wrong. There he is right there. Do you see that? Yeah. I think homeboy is over here eating my leaves because they look different today for some reason. They look extremely different today. Let me take him from this side so you can see him. You see that? He may have to go. I hate to do it, but I'm unsure if it's me cutting the leaves, that's why my plants look a little skimpy, or if it's him, if he's eating the leaves. Can't have that. So, all right. Y'all know about my eggplants? I've been trimming or pruning the eggplants because the limbs are so big and they just hang over, which is perfect for shading other plants that don't need that direct sunlight. But some of the branches were just getting a little out of control, so I have been doing a lot of pruning. Look, that eggplant, that's getting real big and heavy. You see it in there? So yeah, you're supposed to harvest eggplants pretty often also. Look, I hate to get off subject, but look, you see that okra right there? That one, perfect. This one, probably way too big and hard. But I need to go ahead and harvest that. Okay, more eggplants here. You know the different varieties that I'm growing is mainly Santana, but I do have one classic eggplant in this one right here. Okay, look you guys, mustard greens. Yes, mustards, and look how healthy they look. I haven't done anything this morning. I haven't. Sometimes I'll come out here. The morning dew kind of keeps everything moist, but that morning dew burns off really quickly. So just to see them this healthy and just standing strong like this, that's a good sign that I'm keeping the soil underneath there evenly moist. I do see a few little insects, but these are the only insect holes that I see in the leaves. Other than that, they look pretty good. I've been trying to stay on it with the neem max, the neem oil, cold pressed neem oil. But also, there's another little tip that I learned in using peppermint oil in the garden, and I'll share that with you. I have some that I just mixed up, and I'll tell you about that. That also works too, and I've been spraying that in the garden also. It not only keeps away like soft-bodied insects, I believe, but rabbits and rodents, I believe. I do believe rodents for sure. Rodents for sure does not like the smell of peppermint oil. So I was hoping that maybe my little rabbit friend wouldn't like it either. He's been in this garden almost every morning. Inside the garden. I'm not saying out by my husband's shed. He is inside my garden. So far though, he has not been eating my own plants. I'm very surprised by that. He hasn't been eating the plants. I mean, there's plenty of lettuce. He could have a field day out here, but he's not. He's eating the grass that's over there near my patio. That's strange. Okay, so I wanted to show you my mustard, y'all. Isn't that pretty? I know I talk a lot, but look, I'm trying to also do this very quick video so we can get out of this heat because it is kind of warm right now. Right here in this raised bed, you notice the difference. I'll step back so you can see. First and foremost, my little canopy is gone. I had this PVC canopy up here that I used during all summer long because I had shade cloth draped over it. It also can be used for insect netting, you know, and make a little DIY, what do you call it, crop cage. So I've taken down the PVC pipes that was up there. But also in this bed, I had a Purple Beauty bell pepper plant right here. All the limbs had broken off. It just had one limb left because the weight of those peppers actually broke the limbs off. So I got rid of that pepper plant. It was just that one. I have plenty of other pepper plants. Next to it was red kidney beans that they did not do well this time. I grew red kidney beans successfully this spring and early summer. And so I was able to harvest a lot of the red kidney beans, and I wanted another round of red kidney beans. Didn't work out. I may still have time. I'll see. I wonder if you can, I think red kidney beans can be grown during the fall until it gets too cold. So I may try again with the red kidney beans. Okay, right across from that area, I have my raised bed that has my brassicas in here. I have broccoli and cabbage, Cheers cabbage and Green Magic broccoli. And it's doing well so far. I've been trying to keep it, the soil evenly moist and keep spraying them for any insects. But this area over here, I have to rework this area. It gets really, really damp in this area, and I see a lot of fungus gnats. So I'm going to spray for fungus gnats today using mosquito bits or mosquito dunks. And I can show you the package that I'm referring to. And you're going to dissolve that in water in a spray container, and then you're going to just spray that area. I think it's more effective than using hydrogen peroxide and water. Hydrogen peroxide and water, it's also used for fungus gnats, but the hydrogen peroxide is only effective when you see that little fizz, that little white fizz. When you use peroxide, once that's gone, then it's not as effective. But I think with the mosquito dunks, it may be more effective and have a long lasting effect. I'm sorry. And I'm just going to spray this whole area. It gets really damp. Also, I'm thinking of placing, definitely I'm going to place stepping stones around it. Or I'm thinking of mulch, just putting a layer of mulch around there. Okay, so that's one thing. I like the placement of this raised bed, but this area gets really, really wet and yucky. Okay, I'm gonna kind of lift the shade cloth so you can get a look at my broccoli and my cabbage. But yes, this is my green magic broccoli. We're gonna talk about that. That's in the middle, and then that's my Cheers cabbage over there, and it's looking pretty good. The dragonfly stuck up in there. Right in the middle is celery. Celery doesn't like heat, but I wanted to go ahead and get it planted out. Hopefully the temperatures will start going down. We're mid-September. Hopefully late September, October, the temps will go down. Okay, but I have a little celery going here. Let me explain why you see it like this. When I tried to grow celery from seed, it worked for me before. This season, when I tried starting from seed, it did not work. Even using that method that I even talked about in one of my shorts, that I got this method to germinate celery seeds. This time it did not work. So I would have to either buy celery transplants, and they're very hard to find. There's cutting celery. There's something called cutting celery, but that's not the celery that I like to grow. I like to grow those full stalks of celery that looks like they just came out the grocery store, okay? And that's what I've been growing for the past couple of years, and it turns out great. But the key thing is either finding those celery transplants at like a big box store or even one of those little garden centers, or trying to get it to start from seed, which is difficult for me, right? So, and I like to be transparent because I did do a video showing how to start celery from seeds. And I did it before and it worked, but this time it did not. So I wanted to try another method. So what I did is I bought some celery from the grocery store and I cut off the bottoms. And I soak them in water until you see little tiny roots growing from the bottom. And also you will see what's in the middle there? You'll see the celery sprouting from in the middle. And once I got them to start sprouting, I went ahead and put them in the ground, in the soil actually. I'm not an in-ground gardener. So I put them in the soil to help them along, and then I'm using shade cloth. I wanted to grow them next to these brassicas because they're a good companion plant, okay, for your broccoli and your cabbage. So that's why I did it this way. So basically you just take those the bottoms of the celery stalks and you're going to regrow celery from those celery bottoms. Okay, hope you're able to see it, you guys. I need to cover it back up here. Put my little clip back on there. But yeah, that's that new raised bed here. It's a 3.5 by 6.5, and I'm not going to overcrowd it, especially with brassicas, because I explained before that with broccoli and cabbage, you want to have them a kind of a distance apart because that determines the size of your broccoli crowns. The farther apart it is, the larger your broccoli crowns are. And with the cabbage, your cabbage heads, same thing. If they're too crowded, you're going to have small heads of cabbage. But if you give them plenty of room to grow, you'll have larger heads of cabbage. Okay, but yeah, I definitely got to work on those fungus gnats and work on I just hate this wet, messy area over here. So I'm going to put something down, either some straw, mulch, gravel, or rocks, like garden stones. That's what I'm going to put down here. Okay. In this area, these are my peppers and my tomatoes, and there are certain pepper plants that I'm going to try to overwinter. The ones that have grown really nicely and they look strong and healthy, and I think they will survive. Those are the ones I'm going to try to overwinter. And I do believe, even though I enjoy growing peppers, and I actually got a lot from these plants. I have bags and bags of peppers, bell peppers that I have cut up and frozen, and I cook with them all the time. All the time. I haven't bought a bell pepper from the store in months, and that is saying a lot. I cooked with peppers a lot. Those are the main vegetables that I use. Onions, bell peppers, and celery are the main vegetables that I use when I cook. So I did use a lot of my peppers that I had in the freezer, but I grew so many this year, I was able to replenish what I had from the season before. And I have not had to buy peppers from the store in a really long time. And that's great. Ooh, I see a very nice pepper down there. Look. Look down there. Can you see him? Nice. And even sometimes I know a lot of people, they don't like using green peppers, green bell peppers. I don't care. It's a bell pepper. It still has a nice flavor to it. And sometimes when I leave them on there and try to allow them to change colors, it doesn't work out for me. Insects gets to it, sun scald, things like that. So I'll go ahead, if they're a nice size, I'll go ahead and harvest them at that time. I don't wait. But yeah, tomato plants over here, the tomato plants, I don't know what I'm going to get. I know I need to do a lot of pruning. I was hoping to get another round of tomatoes when the temperatures go down, because they don't grow well in the heat. In the 90s, they just don't grow well. They don't like the 90 degree weather, okay? And 90s and up, like 90, it's been getting into 95 sometimes in my area. Tomato plants, they don't do well in the heat. So I was hoping that I could get another round of tomatoes when the temps go down, and hopefully I'd be able to harvest before we get our first frost. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm just going to keep those tomato plants that I have out here healthy and hope for the best. And if not, hey, I tried, and I'll start again in spring. So I had a really nice crop of tomatoes this spring. Okay. Also, I'm thinking of just going straight to determinates and not even bothering with indeterminate tomatoes. The only indeterminate tomatoes I'll probably grow are cherry tomatoes. I do enjoy those. So cherry tomatoes are indeterminate. But there's the Celebrity and Better Bush and Better Boy, and there's certain other tomato varieties that are determinates, and I think I want to stick with that. I just have better success with it, and that's what it's all about. I don't want to experiment too much because I'm spending a lot of money on certain things in the garden, and I kind of want something that's a sure bet because I want the fruits, I want the vegetables that I'm growing. This is my food, so I try not to experiment too much. I want something that's a sure bet, right? That's how I feel. It's a lot of energy and work that goes into this, and I want to be able to get a good harvest and fill my pantry, honey, and fill my refrigerator and my freezer. I'm seeing some tomatoes, baby. Look at this. Oh, she's happy. Look, I told you guys, look. There's a bug on it, but look. It may work out. It may work out. Remember I said I wanted another round of tomatoes. Oh my gosh, look. Them doggone bugs, but do you see that? I hope you can see it. Wait, let me get in a position where you can see. Look at that. I'm getting tomatoes. Okay, I'm getting tomatoes. I just need to protect them and keep them healthy, and I will get another round of tomatoes, y'all. I have been made happy today. Let me quickly show you my little lemons. No oranges yet. No oranges. I have 2 Louisiana sweet orange plants. This is one of them. Let me back up. You probably can see my shadow, so excuse me, y'all. But these are my lemons. This is the improved Meyer lemon. And as you can see, I have a lot of lemons going, and I have 2 other smaller plants over there near the shed, and they have really large lemons on there. I've been growing them longer than I have this plant, and they're very large lemons, but they have not completely turned yellow, and I'm wondering about that. I've been meaning to look that up and determine how long does it take for them to actually start turning yellow, your lemons. And I'm not worried about not seeing any orange blossoms. As long as I'm keeping the plant healthy and strong, and I haven't had any major problems, I'm happy. But this is a Louisiana sweet orange. That's the improved Meyer lemon. And this is another Louisiana sweet orange that I've actually pruned back. Okay? All right, you guys. But I'm very happy to see those tomatoes. I might actually, what do you think? To keep them bugs away, I might actually cover those tomatoes. I have those little bags, those little mesh bags. I might do that because those little bugs are going to destroy them. They suck the juices out. Yeah, I need to do that. So I'm going to work on that today. Let me show you my little baby down here first. Look, look, it's bigger. Even from the first time I showed you, it's much bigger. And I do believe that's a crimson sweet. And here's another one down here. Look, you see it? Yeah, now see, this one was not pollinated. I can just go ahead and remove that. That one wasn't pollinated, but that one I hand pollinated myself. Okay? Even if I just get those 2 watermelon, that's a success story. In my opinion, that's a success story. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, you guys. I'm going to show you my bed over here where I have more carrots. I showed you where I used the carrot, the seed tape. That's what this is over here. And also I have a few peas sprinkled in here also. Peas and carrots go together. All right, so I have some peas over here. Not all of them sprouted, but some of them did right there. There's one there and there's one here. Okay, so I have room to put other stuff in this area because those peas that I planted on this side, not all of them germinated and actually sprouted. So I will have room in this area, but I don't want it too crowded. When you have that crowded area like that, I feel like you don't have enough airflow. And also it's a breeding ground for pests because they can hide in there. Okay, well, those are carrots also. Let's walk over here. Look, remember my little PVC cage? This is what I was referring to. This is what I just took down. Okay. All right, you guys. Here's another area that I wanted to show you. Look, the cucumbers look a little pitiful right now because I just had to quickly water them. But in the front here, this is Chinese cabbage. I have 4 of them right up front. Behind it is straight 8 cucumbers. They are very, very limp and weak right now because they desperately needed to be watered. So I have at least 3 plants back there. And they're going to just grow right up that trellis. Now, remember in this area, this is where I was growing those burpless cucumbers. But I truly believe they weren't burpless because of the shape of them. They looked more like an English cucumber to me. They were long and slender. But I was done with those, and so I pulled those out. But I wanted to have one more round of cucumbers, so I do have some straight 8 cucumbers back there. Right here is yellow squash. I have yellow squash in the garden over there, in the main garden, but that same plant, I have 2 of them right here. They're much younger than the ones that are already producing squash that's over in the garden. Okay, you guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update. I hope I covered everything that I wanted to show you, but I'm going to have to go ahead and start doing my maintenance, and there's some other things I need to get done today, so I'm going to have to sign off now. So I just wanted to tell you guys thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you to my new subscribers. I'm glad you've decided to join me on my gardening journey. And happy Saturday, y'all. Bye now.